Hi, I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. I hope you like the video. Please give it thumbs up and comment in the comments section. That will help my little business grow. I love to create and do all different kinds of styles, rustic and farmhouse, industrial and small home decor too. I hope you enjoyed the video and learn lots of different techniques from me, and I inspire you to create yourself. If you're local to me, I also sell. I'm in Chilliwack, BC, Canada, and if you are local, please stop by and say hi. If you're anywhere else in the world, thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. Hello and welcome. I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. and welcome to my channel. If you're new, nice to see you. Welcome. I hope you enjoy. Do not forget to subscribe and tell all your friends. And if you've been watching for the last year, I hope you've enjoyed just seeing the different creations, following my life. It's been a little up and down over the last couple of years, I must admit, but mostly enjoying the creations, being inspired, and as we go along, as I learn tips and tricks of how to manipulate creating new techniques in painting, I hope you pick up some tips and tricks from me and create your own and make it your own at the same time. So welcome to my channel and enjoy this week's video. I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. Well, welcome to this week's video, and I know, even though I'm doing it right now, usually I put a video out on Wednesday each week and occasionally on Thursday, but usually Wednesday this week. But I am just starting it right now and it's Tuesday. So that's how far behind I am this week, and I'll get the video out as soon as I can. I'm not going to rush it just because there's no rules. I just set it myself as being Wednesdays, but as long as one comes out each week the best I can, that's what's happening. So this week, a few things that I've kind of delayed, a few things going on. As most of you know that's been following me, and thank you for following me, I've recently moved back to the UK to be with my family, my parents and my sister, and I moved back here, in the last I've been here 2 months now, almost 8 weeks, after being in Canada for 30 plus years. So it's been quite the transition. Now, I don't like to go into too much details of some of my personal life, but I did leave family behind in Canada too. So emotionally, it was a very tough decision. And also just being back in a country. Yes, I grew up here. I kind of know my way around, but don't fully know my way around. I was only 17 when I left. I wasn't an adult. I've never been an adult living in England, so I never drove in England. I'm still not driving in England because I don't have a car, so I'm walking everywhere. I did have to get a job, a full-time job, just for the fact that I'm still figuring out finances for my business. Obviously in Canada I left my job, my full-time job, and I'm selling my house, but also I'm not quite doing as much as I wanted to with my small business. In Canada I had my own little home store where I sold what I created, so I had the income of selling furniture, and that always did well for me, as well as doing the YouTube and other factors involved in my Rustic Cottage Co, which I loved so much, and I hope to do that very soon. But right now, when I've just got here, and again, so many emotions going on in my life, I'm just doing one day at a time. That's all I can do. And I am still upcycling, I'm still painting, but I'm not selling what I create. I'm creating for myself, for my own little room and area of where I'm kind of living, to create it into my own style and doing it for myself. One reason, it has to be done. And for the second reason, I'm not really established here enough to sell from here. I'm still learning the styles of what the English prefer. You know, in Canada or in America, a lot of people like farmhouse, a lot of people like quaint, shabby chic and English. Now in England, that's been around forever. So it's not necessarily what people go for. There are some people that love the farmhouse look, love the shabby chic look, but it's not quite as huge as it is in Canada and America. So I need to find what I love to do and find my kind of customers and just establish myself here a little bit more before I start selling things, and I'm just not quite ready for that. But so that I'm still creating, what I'm doing is creating for myself, and I hope you're enjoying that too. Now also what I've been doing in my videos over the last few weeks is, while I've been getting out and about and learning the areas, I've been taking some videos of where I've been going, and just to show anyone that's interested in just the quaint and beautiful parts of, you know, England that's around me. And as I kind of go out further and further, I do intend to travel a bit around England and Europe, so I hope you'll be enjoying the snippets of that I put in too. Now, as I say, this week I'm a little bit late in doing things because I've been working out my new full-time job, and this is actually a job I've never done before. I had to be fully trained for it, and I have been in the weeks I've been here. I've had to go out and do things myself, and I'm going basically house to house of elderly and disabled people and helping them as a caregiver. Now, it's been a lot of learning the job. It's about a lot of learning the area because I'm walking from one place to another, and also just scheduling and everything else because I'm the newbie of the company. That it's taken a lot of my time and my emotion of just getting things together, as well as on top of that, obviously still not even in the back of my mind, but in my mind, the emotion of moving. You know, it's still, to me, England, love it. It's where I grew up, where I was born, where my parents are, where my sister is. But because I lived so long in Canada, 30 plus years, that to me still is home. And I don't know if that'll change. I'm sure it will over the years. I'm sure that will change. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Canada being home to me. Doesn't mean to say I have to live there. But to me, in some ways, England is away. It's a foreign country. I'm learning new things. I'm doing new things. And it's hard. It's not easy to do. But one of the good things is I'm actually seeing things for not the first time, but just more of a wow factor of, isn't that beautiful, where maybe some people that have just lived here all their lives just walk by and don't see the wonder of the area as much as I'm saying, oh, that's beautiful, let me take a picture. So kind of touristy still attitude, and just enjoying the quaintness of where my surroundings are and trying to bring it to you as well. So even so, I see kind of a little bit of a negative of some of the emotions I am going through. I'm also seeing the positive of why it's opening my mind, and I'm enjoying England as well. I am not unhappy with the decision I made. I'm not saying that. I'm very good with where I'm at with the decision I made, but it doesn't mean to say it isn't easy, you know. So that's kind of where things are on that side of things. Now, getting back to, as I'm rambling, getting back to what I'm creating this week. I was donated from, I think, my dad, one of his bedside tables, and I think it's really nice. There's nothing wrong with it. Obviously, it's not my style. So I've been back and forth a few times thinking what to do with this. Now, what would you do with this? In the direction, I love farmhouse. is that's my favourite farmhouse. I like shabby chic and I like primitive. So those are my three favourites. So now I'm thinking, obviously I have a lot of white, so I always do a bit of white, so there's going to be white on this. And I'm going to take it, there's two different ideas I have. I'm not sure which direction I'm going in until I literally start painting. So I'm going to get my paints out, clear it down, wipe it down, and take the handles off and see which direction I end up going. And at the end of the video I'll explain the two different ways I was thinking of, and then you'll see which one I ended up doing. So I needed some grey paint and I still have this little one, but I really don't have a lot left. So I'm going to kind of use it up to the end and see how far it takes me, and that might determine exactly where I'm going to go with this piece. So let's get some paint on here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be painting some stripes right across it and down each side of it. So taking it down randomly, just doing some stripes. And I'm also just going to do the edges as well. And I'm going to continue to do that both sides. And let that dry. Go down here. Along here. Along the bottom. And then another stripe here. I'm just going to continue going, and I say the other side as well. I'm just showing you so that you can see where I'm going with this. So I probably have plenty of paint for what I want to do, so I'm a little bit excited now because I think the paint will be enough. I will have to get some more next time I'm in the area, but as I've been saying, because I'm walking everywhere and I'm walking with my job, sometimes when I know I'm doing 18,000+ steps just with my job, I really don't want to be walking when I'm actually off. So as I'm working tonight, and I will be walking everywhere, I really don't feel like going out today to go get more grey paint, to be honest, because then in total I would be doing probably 25,000-30,000 steps, and that's just a lot at my age. Now you'll probably say, well, why don't you get a car, you know, but driving on the other side of the road in England that I had never done before, I've never driven in this country, the fact that you're paying for petrol, they call it here, and road tax and everything else, and the main reason being I actually don't like driving. It takes me from A to B, I appreciate it, but I don't enjoy it. So I haven't really decided whether I will drive in this country. I don't think so, but if I get to the point where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna drive, then to be honest, I kind of have to do it soon, because I believe the regulations are that you, in the first 6 months, you can drive on your Canadian license. And I've been here 2 months. Then you do have to apply for an extended license, which can last for a year. And in that year, you can then apply again for another extension for another 2 years. And you will get what they call here an automatic license, meaning you can use an automatic car. An actual standard license is very different than the automatic. And then they just turn it into an automatic license. Now, if I want to do that, I need to do that soon, or else if I choose to do it later, I would have to actually relearn, do the test, do everything all over again, which, you know, we all know that as you get older, learning things is a little harder than when you were younger. So, not that I couldn't do it, but it's a lot more work, obviously. So that's another decision I'm trying to make. And unfortunately for me, one of the things is I do actually have a car. Well, between my family, we had 4 cars, and they all ended up not in my name, even though it was my car. That's a lot of my private life there, but that was one of the silly things I did in an emotional abusive type marriage, that I was manipulated into the man owned the cars. And now, yeah, even if those cars sold, I don't get the money. You learn, don't you? You learn in life, and I trusted. I mean, when you kind of are in love with someone, you trust people. But unfortunately, love isn't everything, and as you mature, you realise it's very important to be in love, but it's not everything. You've got to think, and you've got to think that you've got to own your own things. Doesn't matter if you're in a marriage, in a family. Everyone is beautiful and harmonious in a marriage, but it's not many that are beautiful, harmonious through a separation. I learned a lesson this year. So I'm just going to, just finish this off, doing these lines, let it fully dry, and then on top of the lines I'm going to be putting a clear coat. So that's what I'm at right now, and I'll get back to you on the next part. So the grey paint now is dry, and I'm going to put a clear coat on that, so that when I put the top coats on, if I need to do any wet distress back, I can do that. So right now, where the grey stripes are, I'm going to do a clear coat. So now I have got the clear coat has been on the grey, so that's protecting it if I decide to do any wet distressing back. And next I'm going to be doing the top coats. I'm going to be using 2 different colours. This is the chalk white Rust-Oleum, and the effect I'm trying to get is I'm going to do it in stripes to make it look like wood planks of different colours. And then the front is just going to go white. I was going to take the handles off, and I decided not to because they're a little too modern. I didn't want to paint them, I didn't want to change them, but getting a little bit of paint on them will age them a little bit. And then I will put some dark wax on in the finished product. So just bear with me here, and I'm going to use a little bit of a bigger brush here and just go over. I'm doing the whole front in white. Taking my time because I'm not doing it in my workshop. I didn't want to take the piece down around the stairs into the workshop when I believe if I'm careful I can paint it here. So that's what I'm doing. So right now I'm just going around the edges carefully because I'm doing the painting inside, and okay, get the edges. And then I'm doing the sides too here. So what I'm going to be achieving is the first stripe on the front is also going to be white, so I'm okay getting it over the sides by accident because my first stripe will be white. So get it in all the nooks and crannies. You want to open up the drawer and just do the top of the drawer. And obviously you can't close that now. You want to get into the side of the drawer. This is going to take 2 coats. I don't want more than 2 because I don't want it perfection. I want it rustic and well worn looking. So I think 2 coats will look good that way. And then don't forget, with just a tiny bit of paint, go along the bottom here too. You can always take the drawer out if you wish to do the bottom and the sides. I'm just doing it lazy way because it's a small piece and I can handle it this way. So I'm going to continue, and I'm not going to push that all the way in. I want it to dry a little bit. Continue to do the front of the drawers afterwards, but I just want to show you how I start. I'm going to get a good amount of paint on my brush, and I'm going to start from the middle and push out, and again the other way. And as you can see, you kind of get a nice edge of a little bit of kind of a nice little powdered edge, should I say. And then I'm going to get the thickness of the brush and do my second one after. So I'm going to be doing a different colour in between. So this one, that way and that way. And then the one in between is going to be a different colour. And again, just so that I'm not too close to the drawer here, I'll do one more here. And you want it to be pretty much the thickness of what you think a plank of wood would be. So that's what I'm trying to achieve, and I'm doing it, as I say, as feathery as I can. And then I'm going to continue down the sides doing the same thing. So I'm going to put my paint here, not knock it over, and just follow it down the side. So the first one will be here from the continuation of the top, and anywhere you have too much paint you can wet distress back, and anywhere you don't have enough, obviously you're going to be you can just put more paint. So try and feather out the bottom if you can. Now I'm going to do the next one here, if I can reach over, not be too much in your way to see the next one. So it's going to be coming from here, do have a little bit of a lip here, so I have to go over the lip a little bit. And feather it lightly with the drier brush towards the end on the edges. And then one more line, and obviously the same on the other side. And just have a play with it on the top. You don't want any definite lines. So And don't forget, we'll be going back over it one more coat in the end. And I'm just going to do the rest of the front and the other side as well, and then I'll show you. Now, as I'm waiting for this to dry, I'm going to be finishing this piece in next week's video, and I hope that you'll understand that it's going to take a little bit to get the look and what I'm trying to achieve with it. So bear with me with this one, as I want to take my time, let each layer dry, get it looking good. And the one thing I am going to do is to finish it the way I vision it to be. I have to order stamps too. Now, I used to have the barn wood plank stamp from IOD, and I have found someone that has it here in the UK, but I've got to order it and have it delivered. Now, whether it'll be delivered in time for next week, I'm not sure, but next week I will finish the paint technique on this piece, and then I will show you the finished look. And if the stamp hasn't arrived, then I will be doing it in a future one, and if it has arrived in time, then obviously I'll be finishing the whole thing next week. But it's a work in progress, and let's just let it be, okay? So we'll finish this one next week. Thank you for watching. I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co.